can't win. They're not scared of any of the other candidates because they're all bought and paid for. Michelle Bachmann, Rick Perry, Barack Obama, Mr. Carbon Tax, Mr. Obamacare, Mitt Romney. I mean, they all hung their shingle out, their business, decades ago and said, I'm a political prostitute. I am ready to do whatever you want me to. I mean, here it is in the news today. Under scrutiny, Perry walks back HPV decision, walks back. And you read the quote, he was asked in New Hampshire last night why he signed an executive order to force little girls to take the HPV shot. And he said, well, I did the wrong thing, and I wasn't as informed as I should have been, and the Texas legislature got a hold of me, and I think that's great. I mean, you can go read the full quotes here. Let me tell you briefly, then I'll go back to your calls, what Rick Perry did, why I hate him so much. Because I didn't hate Rick Perry till he did this. Not for going to Bilderberg Group, not for supporting the handover of 8,000 miles of Texas roads to Centra of Spain, not for passing franchise taxes on businesses, a state income tax on businesses, and a bunch of other taxes, not for being completely phony. I just thought he was another political prostitute. Another unsavory creature of Karl Rove who got him to leave the Democratic camp and to stop working for Al Gore in 1990 or 91. But I remember when they couldn't get Merck and their Gardasil shot in 2006, they couldn't get it on the market. They'd had trials. You can just type deaths in the trials of Gardasil. They had deaths all over the U.S., dozens and dozens and dozens. Now it's in the hundreds. And if you didn't die, people had blood pouring out of every orifice, every pore dripping blood, paralyzed, convulsions, foaming at the mouth. Just type in Gardasil side effects. And, I mean, you'll see it. In fact, guys, type into the search engine right now, Gardasil, deaths, foaming at the mouth, coma. And that should get them ABC News or WorldNet Daily, both had similar headlines. And so I'm interviewing women in studio who are paralyzed for months and still can't move their arm. You know, I have them in studio who barely survived it in the trials, and I'm reading about cheerleaders dying from it. And then Rick Perry comes out and says, it's the law in Texas, you will take this shot. It's going to save girls. And I went, well, number one, there's not a law. He put it on the list of recommended at the state health department, which the schools then say is part of your requirement to go to school, but it's a policy, not a law, and they can't make you. But then the control freaks want you to still acquiesce to something, so they say, okay, fine, you don't have to. Just fill out this waiver form. And then we keep a list of you dissenters at the health department. But there's no law for that. And again, my children have been homeschooled and private school. The private schools always ask for it. They always say, give us the waiver. We say no. We show them the law. No waiver needed. They say, wow, thank you for teaching us. Principals don't know this. Now, so he runs this hoax. There's several issues here, saying it's the law, you've got to take it. If you just type in Rick Perry Gardasil, it'll come up too. Associated Press, Merck, Perry ties run deep. It's got all the stuff in it as well. There it is. CDC report stirs controversy for Merck's Gardasil vaccine. That's ABC. I want to show folks Gardasil, foaming at the mouth, Gardasil comas. That should get it for you. I don't want to just say bleeding and comas. I want you to see it. Now, continuing here with the point I was getting to. I'll tell you how to search it. Search this. Deaths in Gardasil trials. And then that brings up the headlines about blood and comas and flopping around and bleeding out of every orifice. There's also videos on YouTube on the news, if you can stand to look at little girls' blood pouring out of every orifice. Now, it's basically like a Ebola-style death. Now, the issue is he knew all of this. He knew all of this. Merck said, well, we can't put it on the market. India did trials and refused. Russia did trials. Everybody tried it. People died. So who did they find in the whole world to A, run a hoax and tell you it's the law, you got to take it, And then B, sit there and watch people die and get Guillain-Barrés and flop around and have convulsions. What did he do? Well, they went to a state called Texas, and they found a man called Rick Perry, who not only would he mandate it for all schoolgirls 12 and under, now they try to mandate boys in Texas, the whore media, every radio station, every TV station, complicit little prostitutes who will do whatever they're told and love putting makeup on and being seen on TV or being heard on the radio. They'd probably kill their own kids to do it. I mean, this is the scum of the earth. Every outlet out there ran the headline. It's the law, the governor says. He orders it. He's your boss. And people lined up and the deaths began and the people started rebelling. The legislature had to come in and pass a law explaining to people that it's not the law that you got to take this shot. Now, that's the type of person that we have in Texas. That's the type of individual that we have who said he wasn't going to run and pledge and always meant to break the pledge to pique people's interest in him like he's some type of reluctant hero. This guy is a complete sickening joke. And now, this isn't a public reversal. He got asked at a press conference and said, well, I should have handled that better because the news is saying this is really hurting him, that he's this big libertarian Texan who wants to force you to take experimental drugs that Gardasil put out by Merck that they wanted to dump on the market but couldn't. Because this is what happened. When a governor puts it on the list of recommended vaccines, mandated is the word, and the media went along with that hoax to tell everybody that they had to take it, again, just as complicit in the murder and the maiming. When he comes out and mandates it, vaccine liability federal fund kicks in, the $10+ billion they've got, they quietly pay people off with. So they could dump a drug they knew was going to maim and kill folks and have federal protection because a governor mandated it. That's what the federal law states. If a governor or the president or Congress mandates something, then the vaccine, if there's a public health mandate, if government says we want you to take this, well, the vaccine maker said, well, then you've got to cover us. Well, they went and sought the government mandate to dump a live virus injection. Listen, do this. Do WorldNet Daily, Gardasil, and it'll come up. In fact, I'll show everybody right now. Watch this. There it is. Death toll linked to Gardasil vaccines rises. Complications include shock, foaming at the mouth, convulsions, and coma. Awesome, you found it. There's also an ABC News one that's got it. I'm not just saying blood pours out every orifice here to get your attention. This is what it does. Hundreds and hundreds dead. We got Warren Buffett coming out saying we got to raise taxes on the rich. He means somebody making more than you. Somebody making $100,000 a year while he's exempt from the taxes. That's coming up too. I just can't handle it anymore. These people make me want to throw up, and Rick Perry makes me want to vomit. I got a lot of big breaking news here. Oh, nobody wants to dominate the world. Nobody wants world government. Nobody wants globalism. Nobody wants to take your liberty. Nobody wants to conquer you. But every major corporation admits that's their goal. Our government is run by these people. Here's MSNBC. I saw it on MSNBC this morning. This is out of a Wall Street Journal Market Watch. Google wants world domination. Well, is that a conspiracy theory? Nobody wants global domination. Not Julius Caesar, not Adolf Hitler, not Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan. I mean, yeah, they've dominated us. They've bankrupted us. They're totally destroying our freedom. But nobody's trying to dominate you. The evil doesn't exist. Google set up by the NSA, spying on everybody without warrants. They don't want any power. Google Inc. is hell-bent on world domination, nothing less. Google has agreed to pay 63% premium in a $40 a share cash offer to Motorola Mobility Holding Inc. handset making operation. The proposed deal is valued at $12.5 billion. It's a gambit that will create upheaval in the market for mobile computing and wireless devices. Read more about Google's deal to buy Motorola Mobility. Well, Google's been given all their major software platforms by DARPA. It is DARPA run. It is the highest level of Bilderberg now with Schmidt. And, of course, they paid a 60% premium. This isn't about profits. It's about domination. Of course. Of course, Google is so bold. 5 years ago, they admit they're watching you over the camera built into your computer. They don't care. They're just like in Philadelphia where the school said, yeah, we watch you at home over your computer, in the shower, in the bed. What you going to do about it? We got SWAT team standing by. But you're still kooky if you don't like it. Oh, yeah, we're setting up a global domination system run by private banks and corporations, but you're still a kook if you don't like it. Oh, we're setting up a new world order, and we're getting rid of the Constitution. But if you say we are, it doesn't exist. You're like, but that's crazy. And they look at you and they say, you may be conscious and aware of what we're doing, but the general public isn't. And we're going to hurt all of you real bad. Your calls are straight ahead. I got a bunch of other news I'm going to get to. So I just got to 1 or 2 articles here. I've got like 70 or 80. I don't know how I'm going to cover it all. But we've got to warn everybody. We got to warn people. Our rights as individuals to freely purchase dietary supplements over the counter are under constant attack. The globalists want to ban all supplements formulated after 1994. Governments are hoarding raw materials, affecting our ability to purchase these products at a reasonable price. Even organic foods are stripped of nutrients due to overuse of soil and compromised growing conditions. Storable foods are essential, but you also need to make sure you have the nutrients you need to stay healthy during emergencies. Go to survivalrx.com today and see the amazing line of storable supplements they have to protect the ones you love. The owners of survivalrx.com have been in sports nutrition for over a decade, and they realize the need for long-term storable vitamins. The result is a triple nitrogen flushing method, which allows these vitamins to maintain their strength for decades. Again, go to survivalrx.com. That's survivalrx.com.
OpticsPlanet.com is where discerning gun owners and outdoorsmen go to gear up. Optics Planet has the best selection of rifle scopes, red dots, night vision, holsters, bags, and tactical gear on the planet, with always low prices, free shipping on most orders, and expert customer service. Go to OpticsPlanet.com/GCN to get a free gift with purchase. That's OpticsPlanet.com/GCN or call 800-332-OPTICS, 800-332-6784.
Democrats, Republicans, have you had enough? Want real change? Then change yourself. Join a new political party formed to liberate the American people from the banksters who have overthrown the republic. If you agree with maximum liberty, limited government, and traditional morality, then you agree with American third position. Get more information now. Call 800-513-4928 or go to a3p.me. That's A3p.me. It's time to take America back.
Alex Jones here with vital information concerning our nation's fragile food supply. Folks, there are some truly dangerous trends forming, and I think it's important for my listeners to do 3 things right away. Number 1, study the past. History really does repeat itself. Number 2, learn to spot the dangerous food shortage trends. Number 3, take decisive action. A perfect storm is brewing for a global food crisis. That's why I'm telling everyone to read the new book, Rising Prices, Empty Shelves. Warning signs that trigger the deadliest famines in history. Don't get caught unprepared when the crisis hits. This book is only available at risingpricesemptyshelves.com. You'll also get a free copy of Supermarket Survival, How to Cut Your Grocery Bills in Half. Again, that website is risingpricesemptyshelves.com. That's risingpricesemptyshelves.com. Alex Jones here with vital information concerning our nation's fragile food supply. Folks, there are some truly dangerous trends forming, and I think it's important for my listeners to do 3 things right away. Number 1, study the past. History really does repeat itself. Number 2, learn to spot the dangerous food shortage trends. Number 3, take decisive action. A perfect storm is brewing for a global food crisis. That's why I'm telling everyone to read the new book.